All right, let's dive in. We're tackling AI and something called long context windows today.
Yeah, it's a pretty hot topic right now.
You sent over a really interesting mix of stuff, articles, research papers, even some spirited debates on Reddit I saw.
It seems like people are starting to grasp how significant this is.
Yeah, and hopefully by the end of this deep dive, everyone listening will too.
It's not just a minor tweak. It really changes what AI can, well, understand, I guess is the best word.
Right, it's more than just writing a decent email. It's like AI is moving towards actually understanding complex ideas.
Exactly, like seeing the connections between different pieces of information, even across a huge amount of text.
Okay, so the key to all of this is something called a long context window, which, to be honest, sounds kind of technical.
It is a bit, but the basic idea is pretty simple. It all starts with these things called tokens. Think of them as I guess, the atoms of language.
Adams, huh?
Yeah, like letters, punctuation marks, sometimes even whole words get grouped into these tokens. AI models process these tokens to understand and generate text.
So what does this have to do with context windows?
Well, for a long time, the number of tokens AI could handle at once was really limited.
So it's like trying to read a book a few words at a time.
Yeah, exactly. You'd never get the full story right. And that limited what AI could actually do.
Like summarizing a long document, you'd need to be able to see the whole thing to get the gist.
Right, you need that big picture view. The AI couldn't hold a complex argument or a detailed narrative in its mind all at once.
But these long context windows, that's what's changing the game, right?
That's the revolution. They're like giving the AI a much bigger working memory. It can process so much more information at once.
So instead of just a few sentences, it can look at like whole chapters, even entire books.
More than that, even. Models like Google's Gemini can now handle 1 million tokens. That's like feeding it a 3,000-page document, and it just gets it.
Whoa. Okay, so that professor I read about who used Gemini to analyze a document that long, it's actually possible now.
It is, and that unlocks some really incredible possibilities. Think about what that means for fields like, well, take financial services, for instance.
Okay, like how would that apply to something like, I don't know, Wall Street?
Imagine analyzing all the documents related to a potential merger. Not just scanning for keywords, but truly understanding the nuances, the risks, the potential pitfalls.
That's a lot of data to process.
Exactly. Before, this was just impossible. AI couldn't grasp the big picture. But with these long context windows, it can.
So it's not just about speed, it's about a deeper level of understanding.
Precisely. And we're seeing similar things in other industries, like sports technology. Some companies are now using AI to capture and analyze entire sporting events.
It's like way beyond just basic highlights.
Way beyond. With these long context windows, users can now ask the AI incredibly specific questions about the game.
Like, show me every time the point guard drove to the basket in the second half. Something like that.
Exactly. Or analyze the defensive strategies of both teams throughout the game. That level of detail was just unthinkable before.
So we're going from simple highlights to AI that can understand the nuances of a game, like a coach would.
That's the power of long context windows.
Okay, so for someone who's not analyzing mergers or basketball games, why should they care about this? What's the big takeaway for our listeners?
I think it boils down to two main things. First, the accuracy and reliability of AI's output just goes way up when it has more context. Think about it.
Yeah.
If you ask a complex question, a human with more background knowledge is going to give you a better answer.
It's like the difference between asking a random person on the street versus like a local historian for directions.
Exactly. More context leads to better results. And the second thing is this idea of in-context learning.
In-context learning.
Imagine you could give the AI a crash course on a topic right there in the prompt, and it would use that new knowledge to answer your questions.
So instead of having to train it separately for every little thing, you can just give it some background info on the fly.
Precisely. That opens up so many possibilities for how we interact with AI and use it to solve problems. It's a whole new level of flexibility and power.
It's exciting, right? But it also brings up another question. How do we even measure what AI can do with these huge context windows?
Yeah, I guess it's not just about how many tokens it can handle.
Exactly. It's about how well it uses that information, how it makes connections, and how it reasons. You could have access to a massive library, but if you can't find the right book or understand what you're reading, it's not very useful.
So how do we test that?
Well, that's where benchmarks like Long ICL Bench come in. They're designed to really push these models and see how they perform on complex reasoning tasks.
I read a little bit about Long ICL Bench. It's designed to test something called extreme label classification, right?
That's the one. Imagine having to categorize information not into a handful of buckets, but hundreds or even thousands. Like trying to organize a library with millions of books, but using very specific niche categories for each one.
That sounds pretty tough. How are the models doing on these tests? It's a mixed bag, really. On simple tasks, they're doing amazingly well. They can clearly grasp complex relationships within that giant context. But when things get more nuanced, lots of potential categories, tons of data, we see a dip in performance.
So, like, they can handle the size of the library, but they're still figuring out how to navigate it efficiently.
Exactly. The research shows there's still room for improvement in how these models learn and reason over very long contexts. One interesting finding is that some models show a bias toward information presented later in the sequence.
So it's like they have a better memory for recent events, even though they technically have access to the whole timeline.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It highlights the need for more research into improving the reasoning abilities of these models. It's not just about absorbing information, but understanding how it all connects and drawing logical conclusions.
Okay, so these long context windows are amazing, but they're not a magic solution to every AI problem. We still need other approaches too, like R, right?
Yeah, absolutely. RAG, or Retrieval Augmented Generation, is like having a research assistant who can quickly pull the most relevant information from a massive database. It's still a crucial tool, especially when dealing with data sets that are just too big for even the largest context window.
So it's not about one being better, it's about choosing the right tool for the job. Sometimes combining them might be the best solution, even.
Right. The research suggests that while long context windows can lead to greater accuracy, RAG is often better for scaling and cost effectiveness. What's interesting is that their predictions often overlap quite a bit.
Interesting.
Yeah, it points towards a potential hybrid approach. Use RAG for most situations, then bring in the power of long context windows when you need absolute precision.
A dynamic duo. Okay, this brings up a point we haven't talked about yet.
Right.
Cost. Processing millions of tokens sounds computationally expensive.
It can be, for sure. But developers are coming up with clever ways to make this technology more accessible. One approach is context caching. Instead of processing the same information repeatedly, they store essential data in a cache that can be accessed quickly later on.
So it's like giving the AI a cheat sheet so it doesn't have to do all the heavy lifting every single time.
Yeah, exactly. Context caching makes long context windows much more practical and affordable for real-world applications.
That's good to hear. You mentioned earlier that even we could get involved in shaping the future of this technology. What did you mean by that?
Well, Google's actually running a competition right now focused on Gemini 1.5 and its long context window. They're looking for innovative applications of the technology.
Oh, wow. So someone listening right now could have a brilliant idea and potentially win.
Absolutely. The top 4 teams with the most impactful use cases get $25,000 prizes. It's a fantastic opportunity for anyone excited about the future of AI.
That's amazing. Like, literally, imagine if AI could. Now is your chance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This tech is still evolving, and there's so much room for creativity and innovation.
And that feeling of possibility is great. But with all the amazing things AI can do, are there risks we should be thinking about? Ethical concerns.
You're right. We can't just focus on the positive. Long context windows offer incredible potential, but we need to use them responsibly. One big concern is bias. Since these models learn from the data they're trained on, any biases in that data can be amplified in the AI's output.
So it's not just about the size of the context window, but the quality and diversity of the information it's exposed to.
Precisely. We have to be incredibly careful about the data we use to train these models, making sure it's balanced, representative, and free from harmful biases. That's a constant challenge and something researchers are working on.
And with these models processing so much information, even subtle biases could become magnified, right?
Exactly. We need to be vigilant, constantly testing to identify and mitigate any potential biases that pop up. Proactive, not reactive, when it comes to ethical AI development.
Okay, that makes sense. What about privacy? With AI remembering so much, how do we make sure sensitive data is protected and used responsibly?
Privacy is crucial, absolutely. Robust safeguards are a must. We need systems that securely store this information, use it only for its intended purpose, and never share it without explicit consent.
So it's not just about building smarter AI, it's about building ethical and trustworthy AI.
Couldn't agree more. Transparency is key. We need to understand how these models are making decisions to address any issues and ensure they align with our values.
Transparency, responsibility, a focus on ethics. Those are the guiding principles as we explore this new frontier of AI, right?
Absolutely. It's about finding that balance between pushing technological boundaries and ensuring we use this power for good.
Speaking of pushing boundaries, let's get specific. What are some real-world examples of how long context windows are being used right now?
Great point. We've talked a lot of theory. Let's see it in action. Let's start with an area you're passionate about, writing and content creation.
Ooh, yes. Always interested in that.
AI-powered writing assistants are being transformed by long context windows. Imagine an AI that analyzes your entire writing history, your style, your preferences, to offer personalized suggestions.
Like a personal editor who knows your voice better than you do.
Exactly. One cool example is a developer who used Gemini 1.5 to create an assistant trained on the elements of style.
Wait, that classic writing guide.
The one and only. It's like having William Strunk Jr. as your personal writing coach.
That's amazing. Any other cool examples out there?
Definitely. Software development is another big one. We're seeing tools that analyze entire code bases and help with everything from code completion to bug detection. Imagine AI that understands the relationships between different parts of your code, suggesting improvements, identifying potential errors.
It's like having an AI pair programmer who can anticipate your next move and help you avoid those frustrating debugging sessions.
Right. Companies are already using these tools to analyze millions of lines of code, finding security vulnerabilities, improving code quality overall.
So it's not just about efficiency, it's about making software safer and more reliable too.
Exactly. Beyond code analysis, long context windows are also being used to develop tools that help understand complex legacy code, generate documentation, even translate code between different programming languages.
It's changing how software is developed from start to finish.
It really is.
These are incredible advances. But with AI becoming so capable, what does this mean for us, for human intelligence? Are we becoming more intelligent by relying on AI, or are there downsides?
That's a deep question. Some might worry that AI will make us intellectually lazy, but I think it can actually enhance human intelligence.
Really? How so?
Think about it. As AI gets better at handling those routine tasks, those complex data analyses, we humans are freed up to focus on higher-level thinking, creativity, problem-solving, those uniquely human skills.
So it's not about replacing human intelligence, it's about augmenting it.
Exactly. Imagine personalized education, powered by AI, tailored to each student's needs and strengths. Or scientific breakthroughs driven by collaborations between human researchers and AI analysts, each contributing their unique expertise to solve complex problems.
Wow, that's inspiring. But won't AI's progress inevitably make humans seem less intelligent in comparison?
I don't think so. Intelligence isn't a finite resource. AI's progress doesn't diminish human intelligence. It expands what intelligence can be. It's not about competition, it's about collaboration.
So instead of a threat, we should see AI as a partner, pushing the boundaries of human ingenuity and creativity.
Precisely. That partnership can lead to extraordinary outcomes. Human scientists and AI researchers tackling climate change or developing new medical treatments together. Combining human intuition and creativity with AI's ability to analyze massive data sets and identify patterns we might miss.
It's a powerful image, but what if we become too reliant on AI, lose our critical thinking skills, and become vulnerable to manipulation?
That's a valid concern. It underscores why developing transparent, explainable AI systems is so important. We can't just blindly accept AI's recommendations. We need to understand how it's arriving at its conclusions.
So it's not just about building AI that's smarter than humans, it's about building AI that humans can understand and trust.
Exactly. Building that trust requires transparency and collaboration. A true partnership where each party, human and AI, contributes their strengths to achieve a common goal.
It's like a dance, where each partner leads and follows in turn, creating something beautiful together.
I love that analogy. And if we choreograph that dance well, I believe we can create a future where both humans and AI thrive, each pushing the boundaries of what's possible, creating a world that's richer, more diverse, and more fulfilling for everyone.
With all this talk about AI enhancing human intelligence, are we missing something? What about human emotions and intuition? Can AI truly replicate those?
That's a fascinating question, getting to the heart of what it means to be human. AI has made amazing strides in mimicking cognitive abilities, But emotions and intuition are still a mystery.
I guess emotions aren't logical or predictable. They're based on personal experiences, shaping our perceptions in ways AI can't fully grasp.
Precisely. AI can analyze data, identify patterns, but it can't really feel joy, sorrow, love, or fear the way we do. Emotions aren't just add-ons to our rational minds. They're interwoven with how we think, learn, and decide.
Like reading about love in a novel versus experiencing the actual roller coaster of emotions that come with falling in love.
Exactly. AI might simulate emotions, but it can't embody them the way we do. That difference is crucial. Our emotions are what make us unique, drive our creativity, and connect us to each other deeply.
So it's not just about being intelligent, it's about being human.
Absolutely. AI will continue to play a bigger role in our lives, but I believe it will never replace those unique qualities that make us human.
Like saying that no matter how advanced AI gets, it could never compose a symphony that moves us to tears or paint a portrait that captures the essence of the human soul.
Exactly. Those are realms that belong to human creativity and expression.
It reinforces the importance of collaboration. It's not humans versus AI, it's humans and AI working together, each contributing their unique strengths to create something truly extraordinary.
I wholeheartedly agree.
This reminds me of something we touched on earlier, AI agents.
Ah, yes. Those digital helpers that can perform tasks, gather information, and even make decisions on our behalf.
We talked about AI assistants, but AI agents seem much bigger. What are we talking about here, and where are they showing up in the real world?
Imagine a digital helper that doesn't just respond to commands, but proactively does things, gathers info, even makes decisions within a set scope. We see this in customer service already. Lots of companies are using AI-powered chatbots to handle those everyday customer interactions, answering questions, tracking orders, you know.
Like an army of virtual assistants, always ready to tackle those repetitive tasks, freeing up human agents to deal with the more complex stuff.
Exactly. And this is where long context windows really shine. These chatbots aren't giving generic responses anymore. They can remember your past interactions, understand your specific needs, and offer genuinely helpful solutions.
So, like a customer service rep who knows your whole history with the company and can anticipate your needs before you even ask.
That's the power of personalization. It's a game changer for customer satisfaction and loyalty. But customer service is just one area. Another exciting field is healthcare.
Ooh, AI in healthcare. Always love to hear about that.
Imagine AI agents helping doctors diagnose diseases, analyze medical scans, even recommend treatment plans. Not replacing doctors, but giving them a powerful new tool.
Like having an AI colleague working alongside the doctor, bringing in expertise and insights to enhance patient care. How do long context windows fit into this?
They're essential. These AI agents need to process vast amounts of information to be effective. Imagine an AI that can access a patient's entire medical history, cross-reference it with the latest research, and analyze it all in seconds to offer personalized recommendations.
That would take a human team forever. It's like having a superpowered medical research team working with your doctor.
And beyond those complex tasks, they're streamlining administrative work too. Scheduling appointments, handling insurance claims, managing patient records. It frees up doctors and nurses to spend more time with patients.
That's where it really makes a difference, right? Better care for everyone.
Exactly. And this is just the start. As AI technology keeps evolving, we'll see even more innovative applications of AI agents in healthcare and other industries.
It's a future where AI isn't just a tool, it's a partner in solving some of the world's biggest challenges.
Absolutely. And that partnership between humans and AI is what's so inspiring about this field. It's not about replacing human intelligence, but about augmenting it and creating something greater than the sum of its parts.
Well said. You've given us a lot to think about today, and I'm sure our listeners are excited about the possibilities of AI with long context windows. Before we wrap up, I want to leave our audience with one final thought.
I'm all ears.
I'm definitely feeling that sense of awe, like, wow, we're already at a point where AI can grasp an entire book at once.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing. And the craziest part, we're just getting started.
That's what's so exciting. Long context windows, AI agents. It feels like we're on the verge of something truly transformative.
We are, but it's crucial to approach it with both enthusiasm and a sense of responsibility. We're talking about powerful technology here.
Responsibility, that's a good keyword. It's not just about building AI that's smarter. It's about building AI that's aligned with our values, right?
Absolutely. AI that's ethical, transparent, and ultimately benefits humanity. That's the goal.
Well said. To everyone listening, I hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity.
Yeah, keep learning, keep asking questions.
Who knows? Maybe you'll be the one to unlock the next big AI breakthrough.
The future is full of possibilities.
It certainly is. Until next time, happy diving.